I grew up thinking MSG was really bad. My grandma would tell the restaurants like not to put it in our food. I didn't know why. It sparked something in me and I went down this whole rabbit hole of like Googling, trying to figure out what it was, why people thought it was bad. Eventually went through this route of, oh, it's not bad, and started using it in my own food.
Hello and welcome to the Next Level Supply Chain with GS1 US, a podcast in which we explore the mind-bending world of global supply chains, covering topics such as automation, innovation, unique identity, and more. I'm your co-host, Reid.
And I'm Liz.
And welcome to the show. Hello, I hope that you're having a great day. We're so thankful you can join us for this podcast. Our guest today is Jen Ko, and she is a co-founder. Actually, there's 4 founders of this company, and it's Dime MSG. That's right, the MSG that goes into our foods. And they're flipping the narrative about MSG with an everyday seasoning that delivers bold and simple tastes. Jen talks to us about just some of the challenges they have faced along the way and how she came about with the idea of even starting this company. It's a really unique story. She talks about the challenges of packaging and what they learned along the way, and also trademarks and so much more. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope that you do too. Let's jump right in. Hi, Jen. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Reid. It's really great to be here. Thank you.
We're delighted to have you, and it's unfortunate that Liz can't be with us today. She's actually out sick, so Liz, we hope you feel better soon. But Jen, before we jump into all of this, which I'm excited about. It's a little bit of a different topic today. Just give us a little bit of background of yourself and how Dime was founded. Lay the groundwork for us here.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Jen. Nice to meet you all. Nice to meet you, Reid. Sorry, Liz, you're sick. We hope you feel better. I was born in the Bay Area. Really short background of myself. I grew up working in media and tech, of course, because I'm in San Francisco, so I did my time there. And then I moved out to Australia and got to live out there for 2.5 years, got my master's degree. And I actually moved back in 2020 at the height of COVID. So it was a really kind of crazy transition. I remember because I did like a 2-month travel before I came back, and I was in Southeast Asia. And there are kind of rumblings of what COVID was and people getting sick. And I had always known I wanted to start my own business, but I didn't know what it was going to be. I didn't know how. I didn't know with who. I kind of dabbled in starting a wine company. I dabbled in starting an ad agency because that's a lot about my background. And I was very interested in nonprofits. But anyways, during COVID, I was grocery shopping with a friend, and he specifically mentioned he needed to grab MSG. And that sparked this whole kind of education journey for myself, and then eventually leading to Dime. I grew up thinking MSG was really bad. My own family didn't use it. Whenever we went out to eat at restaurants, my grandma would tell the restaurants like not to put it in our food. I didn't know why, but as a kid, I was just like, oh, it's bad for us. We're not going to use it. So when he started talking about MSG, it sparked something in me. And I went down this whole rabbit hole of like Googling, trying to figure out what it was, why people thought it was bad. Eventually went through this route of, oh, it's not bad, and started using it in my own food. So that eventually led us to starting Dime.
This fascinated me because first off, when the copy came across my desk and they're like, hey, we're going to be talking about MSG. And I'm like, Madison Square Garden. And a little bit further, and I'm like, oh no, monosodium glutamate, right?
Yeah.
And it's, the connotation of that MSG is bad. And I'm not a doctor. I haven't done any research before this podcast. But let's talk a little bit about some of the misconceptions, because it sounds like you were in this entrepreneurial state. You had some work experience. You go abroad. You've traveled. You're figuring things out where you want to go, and you're like, I need to start something new. And then a friend of yours mentions, hey, just grab some MSG, or we'll use it later when we get home. And that stopped you in your tracks and sent you down this rabbit hole. So tell us a little bit about the misconceptions of MSG and how are you approaching this shift? And how do you feel that we need to approach this shift?
Yeah, great question. It's funny that you say Madison Square Garden because someone said that to me as well, that when they hear MSG,
East
that's all they
Coast, East
know.
Coast
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, I think they're in New York, so that makes
Yeah,
sense.
they are. It's the big
Yeah.
place to play. Billy Joel, everybody, you made it there. You made it anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's so many misconceptions of MSG. Me personally, when I first heard it, I did associate it with Chinese food. And I immediately thought, oh, it's an ingredient that they use in Chinese food that makes people not feel great. It's kind of like one of those ingredients like salt, where it's technically like okay, but you just don't want a lot of it because it's going to inflame you. You'll get headaches, you'll be dehydrated, et cetera, et cetera. I'm Chinese, so I grew up eating Chinese food my whole life and never felt those symptoms. But again, it was because we avoided it. So I kind of put those two and two together. Like, because my family would go out to a restaurant and ask them not to use it, or because we didn't use it at home, I was like, that's two and two, putting two and two together. It's going to make me feel bad, so we don't use it. Yeah, the misconceptions are that it causes headaches, it causes sweats, it just overall doesn't make you feel good. And there's even a term that was coined called the Chinese restaurant syndrome, which made it where MSG was directly tied to Chinese food and Chinese restaurants. And all of that started back in the 1960s, where there was the Immigration Act, and a lot of Asian immigrants and Chinese immigrants were coming over to the States, and they were opening restaurants and grocery stores. And an English doctor went to one of the restaurants and felt sick. I'm going to use quotes because I don't know his exact experience, but he wrote an article about it where he said he felt off after eating at the restaurant. He had those symptoms, the headaches, the sweats, and the media really ran with it, and kind of created this narrative of not to eat at the restaurants.
Let's talk a little bit more about this. So, what exactly is dime?
So we are an MSG seasoning blend. What we did was we saw that MSG makes your food taste really good. But because of all of the stigma and the misinformation and confusion, people are either scared or confused on actually going out and just buying pure MSG. If you see like a bag of MSG, it does look a little bit intimidating. You know, it's like a white powder and you just don't know how much to use or how to use it. So, in order to make it really easy and accessible and delicious, we decided, well, everyone knows how to use salt and pepper or your everyday blend. You don't have to think about how much do I put. You don't need a recipe. And so we said, we're going to make everyday blends that include MSG in them so that people just don't need to worry about how to use it. It's so easily accessible to people, and they don't need to figure out what else do I mix it with? What other seasonings do I need in my food? Everything is in the blend itself for you.
Season to taste, as grandma would
Yes.
say.
Yeah, exactly. And I think even still, people understanding that there's MSG in it, they get a little bit nervous. And we've seen people put like the tiniest little sprinkles. So we've updated our packaging to also give a little bit of guidelines on how much to use.
We have something exciting to share with you, a special podcast discount for our favorite event of the year.
GS1 Connect.
That's right, our annual supply chain focused conference, and this year it's in Las Vegas 2026.
I cannot wait. Reid, how many GS1 Connects have you been to?
I think it's been 7. This year will be 8.
That's awesome. I have been going to Connect before it was called Connect, so I very much love meeting all of our attendees every single year who bring so many great examples from grocery, food service, retail, and healthcare about how they solve supply chain visibility challenges. And in 2026, Las Vegas gives us the perfect excuse for a few puns about how GS1 standards can help you make bold moves that lead to big wins.
Oh, I see where you're going. GS1 Connect is your chance to deal yourself a winning hand in operations with the power of GS1 standards.
wait. GS1 Connect is also the perfect place to hit the jackpot on connections from the exhibitor floor to the networking tables and forge high-value relationships that pay dividends long after the bright lights fade.
Learning strategies worth betting on for sure, Liz. Hear from trailblazers across industries and walk away with bold insights that help you turn risk into reward.
Okay, I think that's enough puns for the day, but maybe one more. If your supply chain feels like a roll of the dice, GS1 Connect in Las Vegas is your sure bet for success. So mark your calendars for June 9th through 11th and join us at GS1 Connect. It's time to take your supply chain game to the next level. And this year we have great news for anyone ready to plan to attend.
That's right, Liz. We do have an early bird registration is officially open. If you register by March 31st, you can save 10% on your conference pass. Just head to connect.gs1us.org to secure your spot and take advantage of the early bird rate. Whether it's your first time to GS1 Connect or your 12th, like Liz, or more, there's always something new to learn and new people to meet.
Again, the website is connect.gs1.org. Don't forget, register by March 31st to get that 10% early bird savings. See you there.
I want to go down so many rabbit holes on this. But let's bring us back here. So you're starting this company. The whole conversation about MSG hits you in your tracks and sends you down this rabbit hole. And hey, I think that there's an opportunity here. How did this go? Like, what challenges did you face? What were your big learnings? This is what our audience really likes, is hearing from entrepreneurs like yourself as to what worked well and where's there a pothole that I should really avoid.
So I think we inherently chose something that we knew was an uphill battle. It's something that requires education and kind of retraining people's brains. So right off the bat, we, of course, had that kind of uphill battle to climb.
Let's pause on that for a second. Hey, I want to sell something everyone's told not to use.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the first thing they teach us in business class. Like, go after what people don't want. So I'm very intrigued by this.
I mean, honestly, it's like, if you're going to do something hard, why not just do it all, right?
Right. So you know right away you have an uphill battle and you're going to have to do some education. So was that like your focus point to start, or where was your focus point?
Yeah, I think it's three things quickly that kind of motivated this. One, just culturally, I think it's so important to combat this narrative because it is so rooted in xenophobia. So that in of itself, and me being Chinese, people on our team being Asian, like we have already that motivation to go up this hill, fight this battle. Secondly, I think the education piece, yes, we knew that was kind of how we had to come out the gate, is both by education and then flavor. So education-wise, we immediately, like with our content, I did a lot of content around what it is and how it's naturally derived, how it's made. A big thing I always love to start with is that it actually was created by a Japanese chemist in Japan. So even that is dispelling this myth of it's connected to Chinese food. Even like big kind of fact points really help people get a spark of, wait, I'm curious now. And that then gives us this door for them to go through. And then the flavor. So we've done a lot of kind of in-person sampling events, and we started off by doing like a friends and family and friends of friends tester where we sent out the seasonings, and right away by people just tasting it, it's like a light bulb moment that they're like, wait, this tastes so good. Why aren't we using it?
Yeah.
So those are the three things I think that really got us to say, we're going to do this. Like, it makes sense.
You mentioned that, the curiosity is the jumping point. And it's funny, I don't know if you did it purposely, but your friend mentioned grab some MSG. That sparked you. That was your curiosity. You went down this path, and then you're leveraging that aha moment you're marketing and you're selling to others, like, and oh, by the way, did you know that it's not even invented in China? It was invented in Japan.
Yeah. And the one I actually love to say is that did you know that MSG is in Hidden Valley Ranch?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's in everything.
It's in everything. Yeah.
Salt is in everything, and you need it. If we extract salt out of our diet, we will be in the hospital much faster than people think.
Yes.
These whole liquid IVs and some of the other things, it's salt and some sugar and other things,
Right.
mostly salt.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The electrolytes.
Yeah, the electrolytes. Yeah, like if you're old like me and you were young, old, give you a salt tablet so you didn't dehydrate.
Right. Yeah.
How did your grandmother take this? Because you mentioned her early, and I have a real soft spot. I'm no gonna lie. I have two things from my grandmother's desk on my desk. This is one of her ornaments. It's actually you can put things in here like perfume, or she has a little crystal in here, and then I have a wooden this other thing from my grandmother, who's an amazing woman, but it was her
Oh,
wooden.
wow. That's beautiful.
I've had this for 30 years, and it is broken twice. And
Oh, no.
right. How did your grandmother react to this? Like, Jen, what are you doing? We don't eat MSG. It's bad for you.
Yeah. Well, actually, my grandma passed.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Before we even made it, she was 100 years old. So, bless her, she lived an amazing life. But I'm going to say, though, my parents actually, because they also grew up with this stigma, we didn't use it in cooking growing up. And also, I think they're, the very traditional Asian parents where they want me to go down this very specific route and make sure I'm stable and secure and successful. And I avoided telling them for probably almost a year, like since quitting my job and starting our LLC and all of that. But when I told them, they actually were quite intrigued. I think they had that light bulb moment too, as well, of like, oh, interesting. Like, why are you starting this? Is it good? And then it's so funny because my dad loves instant ramen. And so I had to make that connection. And I'm like, you are eating this every day. Like,
Yeah, you
you are eating MSG. Yeah, exactly. So, no, I think with my grandma, like, it's because it's such a personal story. And she really is the first person who I even knew what MSG was, even though it was because we weren't using, like, definitely an ode to her. And we're celebrating Asian flavors. We're celebrating our culture. So she's very much a part of it, hopefully excited about it. And my parents, yes, I think I've kind of changed their minds as well, which is exciting.
The purpose of, the meaning of life is purpose.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have a great purpose, right? It's heritage, it's informative, it's makes food better. All these great things. Let's get back to the business a little bit. So you started an LLC. What were some challenges that you ran into that surprised you?
Oh man, many, many, many. I'll keep it to maybe our top three. But well, I'm in California, so right off the bat, that is, I think, the most expensive state to start a business and to have an LLC. I haven't looked at New York's taxes and cost, but I think right off the bat, so there's four of us who are part of the founding team. We knew we wanted to do this bootstrapped in the beginning. We don't want to take anyone's money because, again, it's like an uphill battle and we want to make sure there's market fit and excitement. So right away, I mean, it takes a lot of money to start a business and things that we didn't foresee. So things like paying a lawyer to do your trademark. Our trademark took over a year to be officially filed, and that had us running into some issues because we launched on Amazon first. So that was a big thing we learned. So I think logistics of like cash flow, money, that was a challenge. And then we actually went through a lot of challenges on what the best vehicle is for a seasoning brand. We are already doing something that is going against the grain. So originally we were like, or I actually was very bullish on keeping it in the traditional shaker bottles. But as we were testing, as we were shipping out samples for people and getting feedback, we had breakage. The weight of just shipping glass jars was a lot. Labeling, like there's, again, all those costs started to add up so much. And so that was a big learning for us and why we went kind of the pouch route. So like I have one right here. We learned a lot about, one, how do you communicate this brand on your packaging? Because there was not much real estate on a small little glass shaker bottle. And then what the most cost efficient way is to be shipping our product and getting them to people.
The whole packaging, and Liz would be jumping at her seat right now. She focused her degree on and a lot of her work and experience. And it's, you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
And you get into it. Yeah, like, I want to do this, but it's like, okay, well, what happens if one breaks? It forces two to break, and packaging, recycling, handling, labeling. What can I put on it? There, all those scenarios. I too started my own company and had it for a bunch of years and bootstrapped it. I did not realize that I needed errors and omissions insurance when I started, and what the heck is that? And they're like, oh, you need it. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, but you start learning about these things. But let's talk a little bit about the trademark, because it's intriguing to me, because I read a lot of like top 10 things to do as a startup, and Shopify has a list, and Amazon has a list, and Walmart has a list, and then there's all these consultants out there and they all have these lists. And I would say you put together 30 top 10s, and 7 of them, 6 are definitely on everyone's list. Trademark is typically one of them. But what I find interesting that's not on the list, and this is a plug for us here, but is UPC identifier, or a global trade item number identifier, especially if you're selling retail. So were you informed to get it, or was it, you said you started on Amazon. Did Amazon tell you to get it? How did you guys come about getting introduced to GS1?
Yeah. So I have a team of 4. So I'm very grateful that I am not the only one who has to keep track of all the things that we need to do. So I've had an LLC before, but it wasn't a physical product. It was very different. And so I didn't know the checklist. One, on the trademark front, firstly, the reason why we realized and quickly realized we needed a trademark was because we were launching on Amazon, and there's a really big beauty brand called Dime. And I think also, maybe even going back, that's one of the challenges where it's like you might want to name your brand, your company something, but there's so many companies name the same thing, and you need to do all that research, which we figured out soon enough. But yes, so because we were launching on Amazon, they require a trademark in order to get like the brand store and to make your mark on Amazon. So luckily we knew that early on. With GS1, I wasn't very familiar with it. I've only worked in CPG at one company in my past for about a year and a half. And so I didn't understand, like all of those specific things that we needed. And we do really want to get into retail. So luckily, again, one of my team members has done this before, and he is very ingrained in the CPG world. So he knew right away. And I think has worked with you all before in the past.
So I can kind of hear that conversation, because I've seen it. We've been involved with a lot of startups through the years, and I just like it because the energy you all bring and the passion and where you're going. And half of them will know nothing, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to conquer the world. And the other half will have folks that have experience, like you're saying, in different areas. And they just know, hey, listen, even if we're going to do direct to consumer to start, if we ever want to get into retail, we won't have to redo our packaging lines, and we'll all flow. It's the same logistics, whether it's distributors or retailers or bodegas. We can put the same product everywhere.
Yeah, and that has been so great for us because we did change our packaging. We changed packaging design a bit and different vendors. And I remember when I sent out the email to our retail partners, the first question was, like, do we need to do anything on our end? Is the barcode different? Like, are there any changes for retail? And I was like, no. And it was such a weight lifted off.
How did we come about with the name Dime? Is there any story behind that?
I feel like it's either people are like, oh, that's what I thought, or they had no idea. So I'm interested on what you think when I tell this story. But we started off with just literally having little sample bags of the product for our team. And one of my business partners was traveling, and she was in a country where the food just, wasn't super great. There wasn't a lot of seasoning. And she was like texting our group. She's like, man, I really wish that I had like a little dime bag of our product so I could take it with me and it could be portable and I can travel with it. And that immediately stuck. I think we knew after going all through the breakage of glass and the jars, we knew we were going to go away from that and move away from that. And one of my business partners had the great idea of doing a pouch. And I don't know, it all kind of just came together of like this pouch, because due to its size, yes, it's a little bit bigger than a dime bag, but it pretty much, we call it like our dime bag, our bag. It's portable. And I mean, I don't like to use the word addictive, but our seasoning is so good, you're going to want to keep using it. And I don't like to say that because people are probably going to say MSG is addictive or something like that and give it a bad connotation. But yeah, it kind of is that ode to, your traditional dime bag.
Got it. Got it. It's not, I honestly, I had no opinion going
Okay.
in. I was just curious, but it makes sense to me. It's logical. You're 4 founders. You're all splitting time together. How do you do it? I mean, how do you work through the limited resources, decide where you're going to invest, where you're going to hold off, what, you're moving together? Collaboration is important, but it's also very difficult.
Yeah. And none of us are in the same place, really. So we're all virtual. Yes. So that's an added layer. We work really well together, which is great because I think we have the structure where 2 of them have full-time jobs still. 2 of us are consulting. I spend the majority of my time on Dime. I'm lucky to be able to do that. So we have a good thing going where, I'm kind of I have my hands in things day to day, but I have my team who are experts in all the different categories. So I have my teammate who is an Amazon expert. I have my teammate who is our food scientist and formulator. And then another teammate, or I should call them partners, but partners team is like knows literally everything about the CPG industry. So I think because we've set up our team to be very complementary to each other, it's just a very easy way of us working. And then on the resource side, because we're 100% bootstrapped at the moment, we have to be really careful on what we prioritize. So there have been many opportunities that have come across my email that I'm like, oh, I really want to do that. And that is so exciting. And I'm a big brand person. So I'm like, yes, we need to work with this influencer, or yes, we need to do this for brand, but it costs money. And so I really like to look at what can we do ourselves. Like I can do my best to create content, and I can go out there and sample at stores and do things to create brand awareness that don't cost cash, and then save our cash for things that none of us can do, like our co-packer, creating the product, production runs, the Amazon fees and all of that. So it's kind of like a prioritization list per se.
You use the word complementary, and that's exactly what I was thinking when you were describing it. Like you're all complementing each other with your strengths and balancing it out. So it sounds like it's a good team. It's a good group of founders. Is there anything you want to share with our listeners that they're thinking of doing something like this, or maybe they just started? Like, is there anything that's like top of mind, good, bad, or indifferent, that you're just like, I wish I knew this. I wish somebody told me this.
I wish someone told me, again, like all the hidden costs that were going to come up. We had a number in mind of what we were all going to invest in the company, and we've put more in than we thought we would.
Are there any specific costs that you're thinking of?
Um, Going back to the trademark, like, because we did actually work with a lawyer to do that, and I don't think we realized that you would have to pay for multiple steps. So you pay to file, but then there's also the intent to use. And
Mhm.
then I think there's like one other payment that we made. So it was more than we had estimated. And then honestly, shipping costs. So little things where I'm shipping samples to retailers. I'm shipping gifted product to influencers to make content. I'm shipping product to potential investors. I'm shipping product to really cool people that I'm just like, I want you to try it. So it's crazy how much it costs to ship something, even just like to LA from San Francisco. So I think we've racked up a lot of costs.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
performers grow. Um,
Yes.
and they grow quickly because there's things you didn't think of, like, oh, okay, well, we'll probably send out, I don't know, random number, you know, 15 gifts to 15 different influencers. And then all of a sudden you did that and two other people go viral and you're like, oh, we got to get with them. So
Yeah,
more that way. And yeah,
exactly.
yeah, it happens quick. So it's like the experienced folks that are out there have always said, whatever you're planning, 25% more. Just
At least, yeah.
don't know what you're going to get.
I think in that vein too, like a huge thing I would offer as advice for anyone who's trying to start especially a CPG brand is to just talk to as many people who have done it before you and have gone down this road before you, because again, there's so many twists and turns that you're not going to be prepared for. And I've had the like pleasure of meeting so many different founders, and every time I talk to one, I'm like, oh, like that's great advice. It's something that I never would have thought of or come across.
I think that's great advice to give because even if you know you're going to go in a different direction, foundations are laid. So even if you know you're going in a different direction, it's like, well, this is what you're going to run up against because that's what happens. And the more people you talk to, the more validations you'll get about certain data points and the more one-offs of, oh, because I've done it a couple of times and you're so focused on the here and now and the then is so far away. But the ones that have done it really, really successful, they start at this is where I'm going to be.
Yeah.
And I need to plan so I can scale because we're going to run up. And I never
Yeah.
thought of and I don't know where you are with people hiring, but it's one of the biggest challenges. You hit this point and you have to bring on people and you got to get them up to speed. And there's only so many of you. It's a yin and yang.
Exactly. Yeah. I know. I hope we cross that bridge really soon. I
Yeah.
can't wait to bring more people on eventually. But
Yeah.
like you said, it's being careful and mindful of that.
Well, this has been an absolutely fantastic conversation. It was not, I was talking with the team and they're like, this is where we're going. And I'm like, Madison Square Garden. They're like, no, fruits. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I've just absolutely loved the time. I have two questions left to ask you. And we ask all of our guests. And the first one is, what is your favorite technology that you're using today? It can be personal or it can be professional. We don't care. We're just interested. What's really helping you out today?
Yeah. This one's going to be kind of silly, and I don't know if you guys consider it technology or not. I want to say my air fryer. Is that technology?
That's technology.
Okay.
No doubt about it.
I work in food, so we are constantly testing flavors. We're constantly trying to come up with different flavors. We're trying to experiment, and I literally use it every day.
It's quick, easy. You can multiple things in and out. My wife just got us some chicken wings that she did in the air fryer, and I'm like, these are amazing.
Yeah, like it's
Like 15 minutes. It was unbelievable.
yes. I don't know how I ever ate without one. Yeah.
Have you done the pressure cooker yet?
I haven't, and I really want to do that. I also really want the Ninja crispy, all the Ninja products.
All the Ninja products.
Like the Ninja creamy, the ice cream maker.
Yeah.
Like all of them are really cool.
Yeah. We actually got my son the ice cream maker for the holidays, so he's been making
Does it work well?
It does. It
Okay.
does. The ingredients are important. and the timing is important. We've had a couple of batches where we're like, what is this? And then he's figured it out. And now it's like, yeah, hey, make some of that peanut
Yeah.
butter chocolate ice cream. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So the last question we have is, the
They
team
switched up on you?
they
Uh-oh.
changed this on me. I'm going to ask both of these. So we have two more questions.
Okay.
If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay, see, the first thing that comes to my mind is French fries because that is my guilty pleasure. But if it's only one, I can't survive off of that. So I would say noodles. Like any form of noodles is my go-to and my comfort food.
Mine would be pizza because you could put.
I mean, yeah, that's a good one.
The other one that I was expecting, this kind of got thrown in the mix there, but what is something new that you want to learn in the near future this year?
So the first thing that comes to my mind is maybe not necessarily like a skill set, but going down this journey has been really humbling. And I want to learn kind of the balance of kind of what I was saying of talking to a lot of different founders and getting advice and seeing their journey, but not being intimidated and comparing to them. So I very easily will say, wow, those people did 6 figures in their first 3 months, or they sold out before they even launched or went on sale. And I start to think about like, what are we doing wrong? Or how come that hasn't happened to us? And so I think this next year we have really big goals for Dime and they're really exciting, but I want to make sure I learn how to, pace it and take things as they come and understand that our journey is different than someone else's journey. Like we can take advice, but it's our own journey. And so it'll happen as it happens.
I love that on so many levels because I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like, how do I balance all of this information and speed and timing? And there's a saying, comparison is the thief of joy. I say to my kids on a weekly basis, I have 3 and they're all very different. I'm like, everybody has their own journey. You're not supposed to be the same. We're all supposed to have our own journey. And that's what makes life so great is that we have these different journeys and we can share them between us.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, if it all looked the same, it wouldn't be exciting. So
yeah, no, it wouldn't be. Well, Jen, thank you so much. This has been a wonderful conversation. You really made my day. And
oh, thank you.
That Liz couldn't make it, but yeah, thank you so much.
Same. I'll have to talk to her on another level about packaging because I can geek out about that for hours.
Love it. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Reid. You too.
Thank you for joining the Next Level Supply Chain with GS1US. If you enjoyed today's show, you can subscribe to our feed or explore more great episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to share and follow us on social media. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.